Good evening. With the Guyana Learning Channel's News and Capsule for Friday, September 17, 2021, I am Kingsley Bryan. Here's a look at some of the top stories we will be covering this evening. We'll tell you that the Because We Care cash grant has been extended to private schools, following parents' concerns and due consultation. Also, Prime Minister Phillips is acting president, as President Ali departs for Mexico and the US. Then, President urges safe zones and wellness centers as a means to motivate health-conscious communities. And Prospect Housing Scheme for January completion. Total of 131 young professionals and 50 low-income homes being constructed. And in news from the region, 2 Caribbean countries at risk of being included in the UK's red list of countries. And on the international scene, high-speed internet via airborne beams of light to bridge connectivity gap. And now for the news in detail. His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, on Thursday granted approval for the Because We Care cash grant and school uniform and supplies grant program to be extended to the parents of children attending private schools. The initiative was originally only applicable to parents of children in the public school system, but a number of parents from private schools had asked for the program to be extended to their children. After consultation, a favorable decision was made. It is estimated that some 17,000 students will benefit from the investment, which will amount to more than $320 million. This is in addition to the $3.3 billion already distributed to the parents of the more than 175,000 students attending public schools. Under the Because We Care program, cash grants are given to the parents of each child attending school to provide support in procuring school supplies. The program, which is a brainchild of the PPPC, enjoyed widespread popularity over the years, with parents receiving $10,000 each year, until it was discontinued. It has since been restarted by the government, and the amount of the grant has increased. The Because We Care grant is now valued at $15,000, and the school uniform and supplies grant is valued at $4,000, amounting to $19,000 per student. President Ali has issued instructions for work to commence immediately to make the payout to all eligible parents. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips on Friday morning was sworn in as the acting president of Guyana by Acting Chancellor of Judiciary, Justice Yonette Cummings Edwards. The ceremony occurred at the Cheddi Jagan International Airport, moments after Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali departed the country on official duties. President Ali is expected to visit Mexico for a Community of Latin America and Caribbean CELAC summit before he travels to New York for the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly next week. Chief of Staff of the Guyana Defense Force, Brigadier Godfrey Best, and Commissioner of Police Acting Nigel Hoppy were also present at the simple swearing-in ceremony. Then, His Excellency Dr. Irfaan Ali on Thursday said that along with enhancing sport facilities, his government is aiming to create safe zones and wellness centers for children and families to motivate communities to be more health conscious. Part of this holistic program will also be the development of night facilities in every region and a physical education program that will be integrated at the community and school levels. President Ali made these statements after he handed over 12 lawn mowers and 17 brush cutters to the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport through the government's Ground Enhancement Program. The equipment will be further distributed to various communities around the country over the coming weeks. The head of state praised the ministry for its very aggressive and determined work in building sport and culture from the community up. The president said he wants to create wellness centers that would motivate people to become more health conscious, which would result in the alleviation of many primary healthcare issues. The head of state emphasized that the government's model will build an integrated approach to community, sport, and culture development. Meanwhile, a total of 131 young professional houses and 50 low-income houses are currently under construction at Prospect on the east bank of Demerara. Minister of Housing and Water Colin Crowell on Thursday visited the area where the houses are being constructed to assess the ongoing works. The houses being constructed are in addition to the number of infrastructural projects for new housing areas that are currently ongoing. The houses are being erected just off the new two-lane highway being built from Diamond to Mucka. The 50 low-income houses are being constructed by Gaffors, who began construction about 2 months ago. The construction is now at 36% complete, with some 250 persons employed. The minister said the project is part of the government's initiative to fast-track home ownership. After inspecting the works, the minister said he is satisfied with progress made thus far. One of the low-income houses will cost $5.5 million, which also includes the value for the land. Additionally, 131 young professional houses, including high-rise and flat houses, are being constructed in the same area. Additionally, infrastructural works are also being done from Diamond to Herstelling, so persons can access their lands they have been allotted in recent months. Within the next 2 weeks, the Housing Ministry will also host an event to show persons where they have been allotted their land. Meanwhile, it is expected that within a month, the two-lane road between Diamond and Mucka will be commissioned. Crowell stated that the connecting bridge to the road is nearing its completion. And turn our attention now to the world of sports. New Zealand have called off their limited overs tour of Pakistan, citing security concerns, leaving the cricket community in Pakistan unimpressed. The tour, comprising 3 one-day internationals and 5 T20 internationals, were supposed to start today, Friday, with the first one international in Rawalpindi, but neither team left their hotel on the morning of the game, and spectators were not allowed to enter the stadium. After a period of uncertainty, as details regarding the cause of the delay were awaited, a NZC statement was issued saying, open quote, following an escalation in the New Zealand government threat levels for Pakistan and advice from the New Zealand Cricket Security Advisors on the ground, it has been decided the Black Caps will not continue with the tour, end of quote. The New Zealand contingent in Pakistan is now preparing to leave the country. The New Zealand squad had landed in Islamabad on September 11 and had since held 3 training sessions in the run-up to the first one-day international. Both the teams were staying in a hotel that, with all security protocols in place, was about a 5-minute drive away from the ground. This was New Zealand's first tour of Pakistan in 18 years, after 2003. That series of one-day internationals was, in fact, the resumption of the 2002 tour, which had to be cancelled after an explosion near the hotel the New Zealanders were staying at in Karachi. And that story was extracted from the newsroom. And now turn our attention to the region. 2 Caribbean countries are at risk of being included in the United Kingdom's red list of countries. In a report by Sky News, the COVID-19 situation in Jamaica and Grenada, both popular destinations for tourists in the Caribbean, have exasperated. There has been a significant increase of positive cases flying in from Jamaica, while Grenada saw an uptick in the number of its infections. Sky News, which consulted data expert Tim White for the report, also revealed that Grenada could become the first country to go directly from green to red because of an astonishing spread of COVID-19 on the small Caribbean island. According to White, about 1,000 people per 100,000 are testing positive for COVID-19 each week in Grenada, which is well into the danger zone. The surge of COVID-19 cases in Grenada is immensely high that Grenadian Prime Minister Keith Mitchell has already flagged an immediate need of field hospital in Grenada in a dialogue held on Monday at the 16th emergency meeting of the Conference of CARICOM Heads of Government. Meanwhile, Jamaica has recorded more than 9,000 cases of COVID-19 infections in the last 14 days, according to collected reports from official sources. The UK categorizes countries and territories as red, amber, or green in its travel list, with different rules for each of the 3 lists. These lists are reviewed and updated every 3 weeks. White also disclosed that St. Lucia is also at risk because the infections were high during the first review. But now it's declining and the cases numbers are low overall. And that story was extracted and modified from Caribbean News Now. And on the international scene, a novel way of delivering high-speed internet via beams of light through the air has successfully transmitted data across the Congo River. It means that citizens in Brazzaville and Kinshasa could get faster and cheaper broadband. Project Tahara is one of Alphabet X, formerly Google X, so-called moonshot ideas. It grew out of Project Loon, a broadband project using balloons in the stratosphere since shutdown. The latest experiment means that a particularly stubborn connectivity gap between the two African cities, Brazzaville in the Republic of Congo and Kinshasa in the Democratic Republic of Congo, has been filled, said the team in a blog. The cities lie only 3 miles apart, but connecting them is tricky because traditional cable has to be routed around the river, making broadband prices 5 times more expensive. It is the latest iteration of the project, which has been in development for 3 years. X is working with Econnect Group and Liquid Telecom to bring high-speed internet to sub-Saharan Africa and has begun a commercial rollout in Kenya. The system uses very narrow invisible beams of light to deliver high speeds, similar to the way traditional fiber in the ground uses light to carry data, but without the cable casing. The technology has also been trialed in Kenya, India, the US, and Mexico. And that story was extracted and modified from CNN. And that's our news broadcast for Friday, September 17, 2021. Please join us for a rebroadcast tomorrow morning. On behalf of myself and technical team, thanks for watching. Please stay tuned for our regular programming. And remember to observe all the necessary precautionary methods to fight off COVID-19. We're all in this together. Have a safe evening.